For more on this, we're joined by Sergei Zhuk, who joins us from the U.S. state of Indiana. He's an associate professor at Ball State University and the author of several books on Russia and Ukraine. Sergei, you just heard all of this reporting. What stands out to you? I mean, if you're a viewer of what's going on in the region, what story resonates the most for you this evening?
I was struck that neither of these reports mention the fact that all these regions, especially the Donetsk region, are homelands of former president, ex-president Yanukovych, and the former ex-prime minister Azarov. By the way, Slavyansk is the place where son of Azarov, ex-prime minister, had his base for voting. First, this is base of the president and prime minister. The second point was missed in this discussion, that this part of Ukraine is a base for ruling party of the regions, which is against the revolution. And they still rule this region. And number three, that this region, especially the Donetsk region, was the most impoverished region after the collapse of the Soviet Union. It's mining region, it's a machine building region of the former Soviet Union and Soviet Ukraine. So that's why people who live there still have a lot of connection to Russia and hope that Russia interference will help them. And another very important point, this region was controlled for entire period after collapse of the Soviet Union by criminal clans, Akhmetov clan, for example. So that's how this clan, when revolution started in Kiev, found thugs, hired these thugs, unemployed criminal elements, and sent them to Kiev from November to February to suppress a revolution there. And they paid them very well, and they supported this Akhmetov and other billionaires who ruled this region. So you can imagine that all these guys, all these thugs, came back to this region, and they are afraid that revolution would reach them and people would punish them for the crimes they committed on Maidan. Another very important issue.
Sergei, let me ask you this. One of the things that came out, though, was Viktor Yanukovych saying that Ukraine has taken one step into civil war. Would you agree with him?
Yes, but paradoxically, Yanukovych himself, his son Alexander, Azarov and Azarov's son, Azarov is prime minister, funded now this opposition. We have reports that they paid the most impoverished part of this population, who hired now to represent this protest, from $50 a month to, especially to professional, to $50 a day to $500 a day. So that's how they orchestrated this occupation of all these buildings. Of course, now we have proofs that people who started this occupation came from Russia, from Russian special troops, specially trained troops, FSBs, former KGB people, special intelligence officers. Now we have plenty of proofs on the internet everywhere. So they start all this occupational operation, then these former thugs who were employed.
Sergei, I don't want to get carried away with just because I want to hit some other elements of this. The central government, are they doing enough? It seems like they have these threats and they kind of back off. How should they respond to this?
You know, we witnessed paralysis of central power. And again, it's another point which was missed in your report, that all people in this government came from former government. They represent a major party of the region. So the same party which supported Yanukovych. So this is a paradox of these events. So this new government incorporated only few people from Maidan, but the majority of those people who ruled the nation and who, according to Putin, illegal politicians, came from old Yanukovych government. So this is paradox. That's why many Ukrainian radicals, people who represent Maidan, suspected this government in treason. So I
Well,
think that
let me ask you about the talks that are taking place this week. Do you expect much to come out of those?
no. Putin's plan is to discredit government in Kiev, to destabilize situation in Ukraine, to demonstrate to Americans and other people that this weak, very inept, and unexperienced government, moral, it's illegal government for him, but I already explained it's not illegal, it's the same government which ruled under Yanukovych. But I assume that the major strategy of Putin and his administration is to discredit this government, to provoke some kind of bloodshed in the East, and to show the world that these nasty fascists from Kiev actually inspired all these protests, and we have People's Revolution in Donetsk who declared the Donetsk Republic. They want us, Russians, to help them. So the West, you support a weak, very bad, and corrupt government. So listen to the people, to people from the east of Ukraine. So I'm afraid that his scenario to discredit these
Sergei,
forces.
I apologize,
Yeah.
but we've run out of
Yeah.
time. But thank you so much for your analysis. Certainly appreciate it, Sergei, joining us from Indiana this evening.